It's gonna be a really, really cool show.
I have no idea where we are.
This season we wanted to make the autumn-winter fashion show into something really special. Since there's a great interest in Scandinavian design and nature, and of course since H&M originally is a Swedish company, we wanted to find a place for the fashion show in Sweden.
H&M always makes fantastic shows, so I'm sure that they're going to do it again.
Also, well, we're waiting for surprises, of course.
We started off with a tour and we then had dinner here and celebrated the festivities that are about to begin. This has been quite a whirlwind, I'll tell you. We're in from New York, so.
It's kind of boring sometimes when it's just a normal runway and you just walk out and walk back. This is more fun. It's amazing. It's going to be so beautiful tonight.
It's a big production.
The fashion show took place in a former limestone quarry in the northern part of Sweden, in the middle of the woods. And during this time of year in Sweden, it hardly gets dark at all.
The trends we're working with for the show are 40s tweed, military denim, preppy punk, gothic and finally evening wear.
There were around 550 journalists from 14 countries, and they really seemed to enjoy it.
It's marvelous. I'm so impressed.
I was just like, oh my God, it actually blew me away, truly.
It's like stripy things in bright colors and checks and stuff.
This is very much based in London and English culture. You know, you got the English schoolboy or schoolgirl look. You've got lots of plaids and patterns and colors. Will be mixed up with denim.
Preppy is like this, the punk part and the bit of the mods part, and kind of mix it together a bit and do a bit of a mismatch to try to get out the coolest.
I think trends have like a very interesting evolution as in how they come around.
Everyone that works with fashion are involved in the fashion development.
Stylists, first of all, see it happening out in the streets and then they pick it up. Maybe they do a story in a magazine and then the designers often look at those magazines and go, oh, this is what's happening in London, this is really cool.
It's not a certain company, it's not a certain person who decides what to do and what everyone should do. It's the people on the streets, but it's also us at the companies all around the world that gives inspiration to each other.
And we get inspiration from the daily life, fashion magazines, music, and we go on inspiration trips to different markets where we look at people on the streets, go in second-hand stores.
There's like a little tree of life for each trend, and it can start from a single person wearing something amazing that somebody sees, and then that person translates it to something much bigger.
The uniform is always coming back, but we have decided on our department to do it in a more sophisticated way and work more with qualities and details.
Like, for example, epaulettes, shoulder flaps, patch pockets, double-breasted are back again. So we are not making a typical military outfit, absolutely not. We are just taking some inspiration from it. When we talk about 40s fashion, we're not making a copy of the 1940s.
And now when tweeds fabric feels very important, it was very easy to make it more on the 40s way.
We feel for the new silhouette with more volume on skirts and also on coats, of course, and with details such as puff sleeves, creases, gatherings, all kinds of very female details.
I think the emphasis this season has been on makeup, and there's a lot of heavy lip. I think lips have been very part of the look.
At the moment, there's a lot of color happening, all the citron colors, and I've even seen, lots of fake colored lips, like blue lips for the first time in 10 or 15 years. I haven't seen that in a long time. I feel like more and more we're becoming more aware of textures in makeup. So instead of maybe making it all about color, we begin to play with shiny and matte together instead of just, eyeshadow, lipstick, blush. We start to go, if I do my eyes really transparent but shiny, and then do my lips matte, that makes a switch from always having shiny, glossy lips and matte eyes. So I think that's a trend that's coming up as well.
There's a large so-called Gothic trend going on. I think people are looking back, it is the turn of the millennium, what happened 100 years ago. I think people are, becoming maybe a little bit more restricted in their thinking, maybe want to believe in cosmic things, like very religious. Therefore, they look back at the same fashions. It's a lot of black, of course. 16th century dressing going on. There's a Victorian, Edwardian, turn of the century look. I think what we're doing is a very street, funkified version of it.
I think the fashion today is much more like international. Even if you live in Stockholm, London, New York, everything feels much more global.
Seems like the pace is picking up. Just, with the internet, you can pick it up the day it's happening.
So I think it's much more focus on clothing and designers today. If you look at how fashion magazines work, for example, they write about what kind of clothes, the celebrities and the supermodels are wearing when they're going to the Academy Awards.
Because fashion isn't an insulated hobby or interest. It relates to film and to maybe an exhibition that's happening. It relates to everything.
The evening wear, I think, is still loads of black and it's loads tailored things and both for men and women it's really nice tuxedos, quite a lot of satin and lace. For girls also loads of really sexy dresses with really deep cleavages, you almost could see everything, and really strong and sexy.